Hey, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Gent. In this video, I have a ton of updates to give you on what's going on in crypto, and especially as it relates to our airdrops. So let's get into it. But before we do, always remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy on YouTube. Remember, I'm not just make sure you do your own research and you'll be fine. That being said, make sure you follow me on all my socials. Check out my Twitter at the Brown Gent YT. Also, make sure you check me out on the bank. Now, if you want extra coaching, guidance, and support, you can find that through my services, the Web3 Secret Society. You can grandfather yourself in. The prices will go up when we start humping, but right now it's $30 a month. Join the 250 or so people that find value. And if you'd like, also, you can schedule a private video call to make sure that you have a plan for the bull run. First thing I want to say is it's nice to see that crypto on a Monday is doing a bit of a recovery. We saw it sell off at the end of last week. One of the things that really doesn't anger me, but I just constantly see the people that most people tend to give the views to, they're just looking to engagement bait. This is Ansem. This is like Mitch, who is I Draw a Line on Twitter. People follow him for memes, but all these people are like, oh, I'm shorting the market. I think Solana goes to zero. I think ETH is dead. You just hear a bunch of garbage. I really doubt these people believe that. If they are that emotional in saying that, these are not people you should follow. Either way, they're either lying or they're telling you this to sort of engagement bait. And what's worse is if this is one of your first 1 or 2 cycles and you're not used to this fluctuation, you might get disheartened and you may think it's actually time to sell. The reality is this is perfectly normal. We are expecting, even September likely historically has been a red month. That being said, on election months, it is typically done much better, or election years, it is typically done much better. But the time to panic is literally at the end of the year if we still haven't moved up. And I really think by the time October, November, December rolls around, you guys won't be talking about this. In fact, we'll be seeing posts about $1 million Bitcoin all over the timeline. So please, I know not many of you, but some people keep reaching out to me constantly asking about crypto, if it's over, if they should sell, blah, blah, blah. What I think is literally it's a game of probabilities. And like right now, I am pretty much all in on the market. And the reason for that is I think we go up so much higher from here. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. That being said, the people that should be helping you, that should be calming your fears, are out there engagement baiting, talking about how the market's going to zero, it's going to dump, they're shorting, Solana's not going above 130 ever again, all that nonsense. Please either unfollow those people or close X for now, because honestly, like, your mental health will thank you. And just so you know, it is not time yet for us to get our applications out for McDonald's. So put those away. You won't be needing that for another 2 years. Hopefully never. If you follow this channel, you take your profits when you're supposed to, like I've outlined and like I will outline as we go deeper into this bull market, and also collect your airdrops. Another thing that's very important if you aren't selling your crypto and if you're holding strong is making sure you have the right security. Just so you guys know, I'm not paid by Tangent to do this, but they did send me some wallets to review after I already started using their wallet. So I made a review video. Check that video out. I really think that you'll enjoy it. I talk about the pros and the cons, so it's a very balanced review. Give that video a watch. These videos typically don't do as well. Make sure you hit the like button as well. And I have a 10% discount code if you'd like to get one of those wallets, which I think is a must-have in your security. The first thing I want to reemphasize, this is not new, but for those of you who missed out on the last video, it's still not too late to mint your Solana Pass. Basically, what you can do here is you can get access to a $200,000 airdrop or a piece of it by the way that you rank. Right now, I'm sitting second on the list. So thank you for those who've used my code. Really appreciate it. What you'd like to do is get into one of 4 classes: first class, business class, premium economy or economy. Each of them has different perks, as you can see here. Obviously, ideally, first class or business class will get you a better airdrop allocation and earlier or priority access to perks. And the Solana ID will help you potentially gain more out of your Sol airdrops, because you will help distinguish your wallet from those who are literally like just Sybil farming and all of that. So the first update I have for you guys, like beyond that, is really around the Ethena airdrop. The Ethena airdrop, as you guys know, is based on their protocol where they have a new stablecoin and you earn sats by providing liquidity. You're holding USDE. Okay. Now, one of the things we've been talking about forever is great. September 2nd is the end of this campaign, or 5 billion TVL. Spoiler alert, just like I said a few months ago, they didn't even come close. They came out around $3 billion. So, that's not a bad thing. We had to run out the clock on season 2. So they made an update this morning, and I thought it was very important. In fact, this is the reason I'm making this video today. I wasn't initially going to, but I want you guys to know this in priority. It's super important that you read this, okay? So they will unleash their airdrop checker on September 9th, and season 3 starts today. But that is not the reason I'm making this video. The reason I'm making this video is something got added that I did not see before, and I'm pretty sure was added recently. If you reduce your USDE balance in your wallet before the token is distributed, which is going to happen on the 29th or the 30th of September, you will have your token allocation reduced proportionally. So guys, I'm making this video because if you, for example, have earned, 20 million sats, and you put in $10,000 on USDE, you've been holding it there for this entire period of time, and now you're like, I got some good prices in crypto. I'm going to go out. I'm going to spend that $10,000 buying some ETH, some SOL, whatever it may be. If you have zero, you will literally get zero airdrop from Ethena. They just jump this in here. Like I said, I don't remember ever seeing this before, because at least Ether.fi was very upfront around how the withdrawals worked, and at least for them, it was once the campaign is over. Here, you have to wait until you actually get the airdrop. Until then, they're going to do a sort of check to make sure that if you reduce your token distribution below that, you lose a certain percentage. So please be aware of it. If you've already removed it out, I'm pretty sure it's not too late to get it back. But my recommendation is go into the Ethena Discord and reach out to the team just to make sure. I do not want to see any of you who have spent the time putting money into this to get nothing or to get a much smaller amount. And that's why, for me, I'm really busy today, but I really wanted you guys to know this as soon as possible. Okay. More details on everything else up here. Really, the other takeaways is the claim.ethena.fi link, which does work right now, will not be useful until September 9th. And the airdrop, your allocation, comes out on the 30th of September, at least that week. And then season 3 starts if you want to get part of it. So right now, this is what you see, which is obviously not relevant. The next update, and I woke up really early in the morning. I was out playing poker at the casino with some friends. Well, the NX Finance IDO whitelist took place. So this is where first come, first serve, 4,300 Solana, you could spend that much, and you could buy the token at a price of 0.0143 SOL, or like 18 cents at the time. What happened was, I was on here, and because we have people in the Web3 Secret Society, I said, okay, great. The first 10 people who tell me that they want to buy into this, let me know. We'll sort of allocate. So I grabbed like 10 people. Each of them put 1 or 2 SOL in or something like that. And I would broker the deal for them on my behalf, sort of doing a first come, first serve deal, because, it's open to everyone who's got a whitelist. And some people use my referral code, and this is my way of thanking them. So what happened here was I jumped in and I grabbed my initial smaller allocation and their allocation at first. And that was the first like 1 minute, and 2,000 SOL was like gone in like literally like a minute. So I just went in, put a bit more, and in total, I have 26 Solana worth of tokens bought. everything sold out within the first 2 minutes. So this speaks very positively for what's going to happen in the overflow round or the public round, which everyone has access to. If you want to know how to beat this, I've said this before, but make sure you go in. You don't have to bid right away. You can wait near the end. The benefits of being or taking advantage of an overflow model is because you have from September 3rd to September 6th, you can come in here a couple hours before this ends and see how much interest there is. There is literally no benefit to jumping in early unless you might be busy or unless you might forget or your internet may be down or something like that. Beyond that, you can monitor to see the demand. So I'm going to be watching this. Will there be a 3 or 4x demand on this? Right? So let's say, 100,000 SOL is raised. Well, they'll divide that by 100,000, maybe get like a 5x overflow. People get refunded 4/5 of the amount they deposit, 1/5 is spent. But that speaks a lot to the demand, which means when the token is launched, the price will pump very much because of the demand that's there. So it's a neat hack on how you can get there. And if you're interested in joining NX Finance, which is going to have their airdrop or from their token generation event on September 9th, well, I put the link to join in the description below. Both the airdrop and the IDO, you get the tokens then. And remember, the IDO is not sort of vested or cliff. You get 100% on the day of TGE, which is really cool. So our good friend CC2 Ventures is back. He has been, been much of a ghost for this summer, and he's got some really neat takes on airdrops. I wanted to give my opinions based on what I saw. Now, the first one is around the Solana ecosystem, and he talks about some of what he is prioritizing. So Meteora is a sort of liquidity protocol where you can sort of deposit funds. This is actually, in the short term, probably one of the things I'm most bullish on as well. So I've got a couple $1,000s across multiple pools. I'm showing you right here. I got 3,000 in the USDC, USDT pool, and you get like 1 MET point for every dollar per day. So it's not bad. You gain this stuff, and then hopefully the airdrop will be good. Jupiter season 2, as you guys know, I'm going in here and I'm literally just doing trade after trade after trade after trade. I just keep using this, tons of volume. Make sure that you're using limit orders. Don't just use swap. When you use limit orders, that's what most dexes will actually incentivize. Also, we have the governance, we got perpetuals. Make sure you are voting as much as possible and you have used every other feature at least once, if possible. But really, the focus of your use should be the limit orders. Just make sure you are aware of this because this is so important. I've been in so many protocols where people have done swaps and you don't get funded for it. So completely aligned on these two. For me, Phoenix Trade, it's another DEX. I'm not using Phoenix Trade as much at all until Jupiter season 2 wraps up in January and I see how the price goes. And honestly, like Phoenix Trade is just a way worse version, and I don't have any reason to bet on something that's not Jupiter. Couple reasons why. Jupiter continues to make updates. Literally, Jupiter is the #1, and they do not sit on their laurels. They continue to innovate, right? So I will keep betting on Jupiter. Phoenix Trade is not bad, and if you've got the time to do it, do it. But every time I can do a trade, I'm like, why would I even dilute my Jupiter? I'm just going to do more of it. Tensor S4, my issue with Tensor is it's an NFT trading platform, so most people who do this airdrop will actually end up losing money. So I avoid this one. If you want to do it, go ahead. It's also going to be linear, so it will be a lot worse than it was previously. Backpack Exchange, if you are using their wallet, you should get some rewards. I do have Backpack, but once again, not a big deal. MarginFi is absolutely hilarious. I thought this really summarizes the MarginFi airdrop very well. Somebody posted on Twitter, this MarginFi airdrop in the room with us. It's a counselor talking to a mental patient, which is pretty much how most of us feel when we think about MarginFi. And finally, Camino, which is the better, in my opinion, it's a better lending market in my opinion. I constantly use Camino. In this case right now, I'm lending out 100 SOL token. and I am borrowing 2000 USDC, 2000 USDT, and I can literally pay it back or whatever, farming the tokens, but also using this money to buy and sell Solana tokens and others. So that is pretty much the summary over here. I wouldn't talk about the others. I do think Solare is good, but once again, we've covered that many, many times before. And also Magic Eden, as you guys know, we're still waiting for an update on that. The next update is another tweet talking about a bunch of updates on the golden year of airdrops. I'm going to go past this. One thing I found very interesting was he makes the argument that if you don't do everything possible, and it's an old basketball quote, right? Like you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. But that being said, here it is. The thing is, you just can't do everything, and it's ridiculous to think you can. So I somewhat disagree. In this case, what CC2 Ventures is doing is literally going and trying to get every scroll badge he can. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. If you look at this picture, look how many badges. I didn't even know you could get that many badges. But in my opinion, it's a waste of money. And I think a lot of protocols are doing this to generate fees because there actually is no real benefit to having all that. Remember, with ZK Sync and other protocols, people did everything they could, and they were surprised to get like 50 bucks, 20 bucks, 100 bucks. And all I heard is ZK scam and everything else like that. The number one thing that's going to be important for Scroll is liquidity. Remember, guys, think about it from their perspective. Yes, they want to support as many, Sybil, non-Sybil people as possible, organic. Obviously, they got VCs to feed as well, which is really who's going to get the bulk of this airdrop. You think the VCs are out here minting a bunch of badges? Definitely not, right? Like the people who are going to get the big airdrops are going to be putting the biggest liquidity. So please, if you could spend $5 on a badge or $10 on a badge or $100 on a badge or whatever it may be, just take that money and put it in the liquidity. Go out there and earn your marks. Even like I got like 9,000 marks. It's not that great. I saw a tweet yesterday about the ranking of the marks. I wish I had prepared that for this video. I'm just thinking about it right now. But if you get over 1,000 marks, you're already distinguishing yourself from the pack. Obviously, the higher you get, even better. And for me, my favorite is to sort of do the same thing I'm doing in Sol, where I'm lending on Camino. I lend on Aave, borrow USDC against my ETH, and I earn that way as well. And if you'd like to, obviously you can go into Scroll and you can mint a few badges. Make sure you have a few. I put a link if you'd like to support the channel and get your canvas if you haven't already. But don't kill yourself getting more than just a few badges. You don't need to be a Boy Scout. That's the number one sort of takeaway that I have, unless you literally have nothing better to do. Remember, guys, the idea about crypto is we're here to make life-changing money so we can have freedom. Not so we can just spend all our time on the internet clicking buttons. That's not really my idea of fun. There's a sort of Pareto principle in effect, right? Make sure you're smart, strategic, and do the best actions to get you the best rewards. An update on Elixir, I wanted to just let you guys know that given that we can now withdraw our funds from the apothecary, I used to have 0.4 ETH in here. So about like, I don't know, 1,400 bucks, 1,300 bucks ish in here. The rewards just continue to get worse. The rewards continue to get worse for Elixir, and the Mystic Chest is just basically a 10% potion boost. So I'll take my money out now and not get the extra double on potions because I can use it in farming protocols like Scroll. And for me, I think that's just a better use. And I've already earned 67 potions, so we'll see how that goes. So I want to give you an update there. Another update is if you've been farming Hyperlane and you've used the Nautilus chain, you may have some tokens on the Nautilus chain. In fact, I have 24 right here, which is literally so small that I can't move it. But make sure you take any funds you have on the Nautilus chain and take them out. Either move them to the Binance Smart Chain or move them to Sol. It's shutting down on September 6th. So you just have 4 days left. Please, I don't want to see you guys lose any money if you bridge something there and you forgot to bridge it elsewhere or you're holding something there as well. And the final update is on Ninja Blaze. They're doing a competition where you can win $100,000. Ninja Blaze was an NFT that we minted probably back in Feb or March. It was like one injective at the time. At one point, it was more than double its mint price. So I recommended selling, and I sold a bunch of my NFTs there, and I held a bunch more to see what happened. Unfortunately, Ninja Blaze sort of lost a lot of popularity and favor when the injective ecosystem started to show that the airdrops were completely worthless. And in fact, Cosmos as an ecosystem just has not delivered this cycle. Maybe it will deliver later. But they're doing a 100K prize pool. All you got to do is open a bunch of boxes on their platform. They each like, it's like a game of it's like a gambling game, right? So you can open a shuriken box. It costs you 0.1 injective. You get either 0.03 injective 10% of the time, 0.07 injective 50% of the time, etc. The rarities are here, and the risk probability or the risk distribution gets way worse as you do different boxes. Katana will actually give you 70% of the time you get 10% back, but 1% of the time you 25 extra money. So obviously they're making money off this. If you do hold Ninja Blaze NFTs, you get better points, and these points will qualify you for the leaderboard, which, 100K is going to be dropped out for those leaders, or for those point leaders. And what is really cool is this has in fact helped the price of the Ninja Blaze NFT continue to come back up. So now it's over a break even. If you'd like to sell some Ninja Blaze NFTs that you've been holding on to just because, hey, you're done with this, I'd recommend doing it now. I think that once this sort of campaign is over, they're probably going to come back down. And I think, at least for me, I'm not touching injective, so I will be selling mine as well. But I wanted to give you an update there. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have Ethena, please, please, please make sure you either ask the team if you can put your funds back if you haven't already, or as right away, change your funds back, because I can't see why they would look at your distribution change, before the 9th, right? The 9th is when the checker goes live. Likely a few days before is when they will figure it out. And they're probably going to have multiple checks, or just a check the day before on the 29th or the 30th. I'm not really sure. This is where the team really has to provide some clarity. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, share this video, because we want more people to hear about the Brown Gent, watch the channel. Guys, I really appreciate the comments. Mohammed, thank you so much. You're the best one on YouTube. Appreciate it. Thank you, Soli Main, for the first like. Guys, please help me like the video because it helps push the content out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.